You're listening to the PRO Media Network, the next level in entertainment.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're now listening to the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network. What's up, family? What's going on with you? This Big Q. That round of applause is for you for joining us on the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network podcast 342. 342 on the podcast, family. We continue to increase them as we're working hard to give you that good Pelican talk. Now, this is an excellent show in terms of not so much as the Pelicans play, because they play kind of sucks right now, but it's quite evident that what we've been broadcasting, what we've been saying and covering over this season, since when the season started, the whole do it bigger moniker where you had less big didn't make any sense anyway. It's like they just got lazy with the advertising. They just didn't want to come up with a new way. But they really should have said do it smaller in any capacity, smaller in wins, smaller in team discipline, smaller in execution, smaller in every metric that has something to do with absolutely non-productivity. We've been saying for a while, since Coach Gentry came aboard, that he was the wrong man for the job. When we used to cover the Pelicans on the Sports Coma, we had a diverse show. We talk about the Saints, Pelicans, we had boxing. But then the audience kind of took off and each demanded its own show. So here we are. I say that to say this. The Pelicans are a team that they're looking at this young talent. Most of this young talent might not even be on this team. Of course, you have the latest acquisition. They just brung over here this kid, Wood, who they picked up from Milwaukee, who had some pretty good playing. I've seen some highlights of him and looked at some film on him playing in the G League where he just dominated guys. He played with a lot of confidence. Sometimes the confidence don't translate when they get up to the big league and you see that, they are not a marginal talent at best, but it's good to see that the family, the team, is looking at brighter and clearer skies ahead. And we're going to talk about that day. I know this was a long drawn out intro, fam, but listen, I'm talking the truth, man. I'm a Pelican fan. I'm not just covering the team. I know about the team. I follow the team. I watch the team. I go to games. And it's frustrating to me to see them lose as badly as they did. Now, in this podcast, we're going to cover the stinking, rotten, garbage time loss that they had to the Houston Rockets, who literally destroyed them in the building. They were non-competitive through this entire game. That means just totally just a joke, even though they did play better in the third quarter. But by that time, they were just totally out of it. Houston Rockets just ran over them like a speed bump, and it's absolutely it's what it is. You have a team in the disarray, all culminating in a series of events that basically the season fell apart. It was tied together with spaghetti strings anyway. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just revealing to be what it is, which is awful. But anyway, today we'll cover that stinking loss to Houston. We also will break it down with stats, facts, breakdown. We also have with Coach Gentry, see what he can say. Each interview, he gets more and more pathetic sounding. And it's almost like you can see that you are way over your head, dude, way over your head. That's why when you are a person out there and you got a guy or a person around you that you really trust and they never lied to you, they got your back. Let me tell you something. Keep them people close, because when you ascend to levels of success, you need to have somebody around. If you can't keep yourself grounded, to understand when you are over your head, those people will tell you, hey, dude, you are over your head. And Coach Gentry, if he didn't have a bunch of yes men around him, I'd have told him, hey, partner, you are over your head. Matter of fact, I've been yelling it all season long. You over your head with this one. But anyway, we'll cover that. We also have some news about Gayle saying something about selling the team, perhaps. Just giving you that little teaser. And also, we'll have the preview for the Atlanta Hawks matchup. That's later on in the show. And, of course, I will then give you a small breakdown of who I think the Pelicans should go after in terms of general manager and coach. We'll talk about that as well. And in a future show, we'll cover it in multiple topics. We'll have the top 5 GMs, and then the top 5 coaches. And, of course, we're going to start doing the prospects as well to see who the Pelicans can pick up. Now, moving ahead into the show. The Pelicans 113-90 stinking garbage time loss was absolutely awful, but the Houston Rockets shot them out the building 49% from the field versus this is just awful. The Houston Rockets 3-pointers just destroyed the Pelicans. People, look at this. This is absolutely crazy. The Houston Rockets were 21 of 49 from the 3-point line. That's 43%. The Pelicans were 7 of 28. They almost made more 3-pointers than the Pelicans had attempted. Absolutely insane. They were 38 of 92. They are the Pelicans, 41% from the field. Free throw line, not too many teams went to the free throw line. The referees kind of let them play this one out, even though the Pelicans were 7 of 10 from the free throw line. Rebounds, Houston 53-49. Assists, Houston lost it 26-24. That's about the only thing the Pelicans did win. It was an assist game. Now, they did hold their penalties down, turnovers down to 15, but gave up 21 points off of 15 turnovers versus Houston having 19 turnovers and giving up 23 points. How do you have not forced them and make them pay? That's the thing I said the Pelicans have to learn with the next coach is they got to teach teams, make teams pay when they make mistakes, not just let them get away with it like the Pelicans love to do. But anyway, before we get into the rest of the meat and potatoes, let's hear what Coach Gentry, how pathetic Coach Gentry sounds as he begins to try to make sense of why this team stunk as bad as they are. Coach Gentry, why did they stink so bad?
Is that simply how this goes? Is it a mismatch from the start?
Well, you got to be able to score against this team, and obviously we didn't shoot it to the percentage that we need to shoot it to stay in the game, and you just can't get out. They make 21 threes, we make 7. That in itself right there is such a wide discrepancy in the 3-point shooting that it's hard to do. And I thought early on we had turnovers, and when the one thing you can't do is turn the ball over against this team because it's tough enough as it is guarding Harden. But that being said, I thought for the most part we did a good job on him. Now, obviously, with the score the way it was, I don't know how hungry he was to just try to go get baskets and stuff. But it just one of those games we didn't play very good, and they played well.
On a side note, your first look at Christian Wood, what did you see?
Oh, I don't think you can tell a whole lot from tonight, but I think he's bouncy, and I think he can get up and down the court. I think he's athletic, and as we play more games, we'll play him in more minutes, and we'll play him more in a position and a situation where I think he can be successful.
How hard is it just to go through games like this? I mean, where you're trying to develop guys, you're playing a ton of young guys. I mean, how hard are these nights?
Well, they're hard. I mean, anytime you're in a situation like this, but I think. For us, like I said, there's a bigger picture. And so at some stage, I don't really care what the score is. It's all about doing the right thing or trying to execute what we're trying to have you do out there on the floor, be in a position defensively that we talk about. And those are all the things that I start to look at as the game progresses in a situation like this where the game is out of hand.
That's Coach Gentry, man. I don't know what the hell he talking about. At some junctures of time, you don't care what the score is. I always care about what the score is, Coach Gentry. Maybe you should too, but it's like he at the end of his line. You could tell this is a dead man walking, and he know he's not going to make it. This team is not responding. It has a little bit of fight, but he lost this team a while ago. When I said it over and over again about playing Anthony Davis at small ball center. Keep him. He's better at the 4 than any other position. Every now and again, you could play him at the 5. but he is the best 4 in the game. 4, not 5. He shouldn't be matched up with Rudy Gobert and Steven Adams and guys like that when you got your little Okafor there. And if you don't have a guy that can battle those big old guys, get one. Now about the Christian Wood comedy. Have we fallen a long way as far as Pelican fans when we talking about the development of a guy that just got here, Christian Wood. Now, only thing I can say about Christian Wood, that he had a sparkling effort in the G League, and that's pretty much it, is the fact that he's 6'11", he weighs 215 pounds, which he's supposed to be a power forward, but he need a little bit more weight on him. Now, I do like his size because I kept saying that the Pelicans are not long enough. They're not tall enough. Besides Anthony Davis and Jahlil Okafor, those guys are 7-footers. You need more length. And I applaud the fact that they did get a 6'11", almost 7-foot guy that can run the floor, that can play a defense, and that can who loves to hop and jump. That is terrific. I say they need another guy like that. They need to find another 6'11", 7-foot guy because you're going to need those guys on night. They are the guys that make the difference in the paint. Those are the guys that help with shot blocking. Those guys make it difficult to get to that paint, and you need more than one. You need at least 4, in my opinion, 4 6'11", 7-foot guys on your team, not 2 of them. And that's what I've been saying all along. Anyway, I'm just regurgitating talking points I've been saying all damn season long about what the Pelicans need to do. Outside of that interview, you see the mindset of Alvin Gentry. The team, of course, we know he'd been lost this team. Dale Demps, who brought in the building, is fired. He's going to be fired next, no doubt about it. But looking at the rest of the effort from the Pelicans, I mean, what more can I say? I mean, you look at Anthony Davis, you know, he's not even a factor, 9-factor, 21 minutes, only 12 points, 10 rebounds in the game. The top dog in terms of points was Frank Jackson, who continues to look really good. Frank Jackson is really stepping up. 19 points, 7 of 16. If anything is really positive about this garbage time year is the fact that Frank Jackson's healthy. He's getting real starter minutes. He played 34 minutes in the game, 7 of 16 from the field, 3 of 8 from the three-point line. He finished with 19 points and 6 assists. I love that. And he's playing off guard at the off guard position. I would love to see him at the point guard position some days, maybe when Drew is out, slide Elfrid Payton to the off guard position, because Elfrid Payton struggled in this one. 2 of 8 for 4 points, 4 rebounds. He was, had 5 turnovers in the game. And that's what I'm saying about Elfrid Payton. Terribly inconsistent. I like Elfrid Payton. I really do. But, minus those last 5 games where he was doing the triple-double thing, I knew sooner or later he'll crash back down to reality and produce what he's been producing, which is diddly squat. He's terribly inconsistent. Besides the injuries, he can't shoot the three-pointer. He barely can miss free throws, and he hasn't been playing good defensively. I mean, consistently. We have spurts where he'll play well, but I'm saying consistency. The top player on the team, Julius Randle, as it stands right now, with Anthony Davis relegated to basically a high-paid third option or whatever, or no option, whatever you want to call it. 15 points for Julius Randle and 3 rebounds. He played in just 26 minutes on the court. Now, off the bench, Stanley Johnson, 13 points, 5 rebounds in the game. He played really well. 7 points from this Christian Wood character who had 8 minutes. Encouraging. But, of course, if Christian Wood is playing, then Sheik Diallo probably will not be. 6 points for Sheik Diallo in the game with 3 rebounds through 9 minutes of play. And Darius Miller does what Darius Miller does when you give him too many minutes. He stinks. 20 minutes for Darius Miller, about 1 for 6 from downtown, 1 for 6 from the field, 0 for 3 from downtown, and even 2 of 4 from the free throw line. He wasn't making a jack, what. Jahlil Okafor, once again, Alvin Gentry keeps dropping his minutes down. 12 minutes on a night, 2 points, 4 rebounds, and this Bertans guy, Darius Bertans, 1 of 4 from the field, 1 of 3 from downtown. They're saying this guy's shooting 40% from the 3 in Europe. You need to go and ship it, move the line back to whatever the Europeans shooting, because he ain't hitting nothing here. But anyway, we'll finish up on the show. We got what Gayle Benson said about the team. We got more insight on the Pelicans on the other side of the break. Stay with us. You listen to the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network.
Straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Embrace Pet Insurance is more than just pet insurance. Embrace Pet Insurance promises to provide genuine support and certainty when your pet need it the most. With personalized accident and illness policies, compassionate customer care, 24/7 access to veterinary professionals, flexible wellness plans, timely claims processing, and online customer portals, their values is what makes them Embrace. So, when selecting a pet insurance company as a partner in your pet's care, you deserve a company that has your pet's best interests at heart. Get top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Up to 90% back on bills at any vet, total protection, pet insurance and wellness, and dependable claims payments. Get the top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Go to EmbracePetInsurance.com. That's EmbracePetInsurance.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Eye View, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelican. Attention, everyone. Get breakdown on games, free agent signings, and potential moves. Unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Valley. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000, celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registrars and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
There's a lot of reasons to be a fan, but only NBAStore.com has all the gear.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, listening to the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network. Gayle Benson, the owner of both the Saints and the New Orleans Pelicans, was saying in the press, strictly from via the New Orleans Times-Picayune, the local New Orleans newspaper, for those who are not familiar with that name. There's a lot of stuff circulating the fact that she is potentially thinking about selling the team. Said Gayle Benson. Quote, "There is no way I'm going to sell that team, ever." She says also, quote, "I value the Pelicans as much as I do the Saints, and I don't look at myself as the owner of the teams. I feel like it is an asset that I am protecting for the city." Gayle Benson speaking tough words, man, because a lot of stuff is circulating around the fact that being at the Pelicans are is the smallest market team in the league. Bigger markets are looking kind of suck the team away. Seattle is another team. They're looking at building that new, after the renovations of the Key Arena is done in a couple of years, they're going to be looking for the Seattle Sonics, although they're just talking about the Storm. We know you ain't just building that damn building for no hockey team, man. Knock it off with all this crap. The major players that they're looking for a team. And, of course, hey, man, how did we get the Pelicans? Which good for the goose is good for the gander. Ever heard that before? We got the Pelicans from a disgruntled owner who used to have them in Charlotte, who had straight out knockdown, drag out discussions with the city hall in Charlotte, and they hated this man. He ultimately moved the team to New Orleans. Now, we would shoot at Memphis that year, remember? Prior to that, back in the late 90s, we was trying to steal Minnesota from the Timberwolves. So we finally ended up getting Charlotte, the Hornets, who ultimately became the New Orleans Hornets, who ultimately became New Orleans Pelicans. But we got an owner with a solid money base, the Saints, and she is sworn that she will not move the team. And besides, people talking crap about the Pelicans right now, but let me tell you something. With a few moves here or there, this team could ultimately end up being a dominant force for some years. All it takes is the right people at the top, and we're going to cover that later in the show. But before we get into that, let's go into the Pelicans' next upcoming matchup. They got the Atlanta Hawks that'll be coming in here tomorrow. Now, they met earlier. Of course, you know, the Hawks spanked the Pelicans 128-116. They only play twice a year. And the Hawks, as far as record-wise, are worse than the Pelicans. But they didn't show it in that matchup. I mean, they just ran all over them. The Pelicans were that game just disgusted me. Absolutely disgusted me. But, hey, the Pelicans are junk right now. And they're not playing with much swag outside of the nonstop player guys like Julius Randle. And when Drew Holiday was healthy, what he's doing, of course, they're suffering from some injuries. But a lot of this is they shutting these guys down because they know they're trying to position themselves for a better pick and ultimately trying to controlling AD's minutes so they can ship him out of here when the time comes. Ultimately, probably end up in Boston. Who knows? They might have a couple of sleeper teams that sneak in there because after the offseason hits for the NBA, a lot of teams going to have a lot of money to play with. They're going to know exactly where their picks are, where they're going to pick at. New York could be a team with the top pick that can ultimately sway the Pelicans to say, send Anthony Davis up here to New York. We'll give you the pick. This Pelicans take Zion Williamson, who Tracy McGrady astutely mentioned. Send him to New York, get the pick from Zion, and the Pelicans get Zion along with Drew Holiday. But there's also speculation around Drew Holiday trading him, believe it or not. I'm hearing rumblings and rumors. They got reports out there about possibly dealing with Drew Holiday. So, hey, man, we say that Anthony Davis would never move, and it's stuff out there with Drew Holiday. For the right move, he is definitely a guy that they would definitely move because what kind of rebuild is this? Would you feel comfortable with Drew Holiday as your star player, or you just going to go all on out and just totally rebuild and start with Jason Tatum again? I mean, there's a lot to consider here. But anyway, looking at the matchup between the Atlanta Hawks and the Pelicans, Hawks coming in there 26-48, 11-26 on the road. The Pelicans are 31-44, 18-18 at home. Pretty pathetic, but at least it's not a losing record. Top scorers for the Atlanta Hawks is John Collins. He is averaging about 19 points a game. Really, that guy really stepping his game up. Trae Young and this guy, and they just need to get another piece, which they probably will get in a lottery. Will definitely add futures bright in Atlanta, no doubt about it. Collins is the top scorer and rebounder, averaging 19 points a game and almost 10 rebounds a game. Pretty good. Top assist man is Trae Young, who's doing just an excellent job. But Luka Doncic probably will get him on that rookie thing. But 8 assists a game for the exciting Trae Young. Of course, for the Pelicans, they top dog all across the board is Anthony Davis, even though he's not playing like it. 26 points a game, 12 rebounds a game. And Drew Holiday is about 8 assists. And Drew is hurt, so he won't play. Anthony Davis is playing like he is hurt, so it won't make much of a difference. Now, as far as the injury report is concerned, Drew Holiday is out. So is Etwan Moore. Anthony Davis is listed as day-to-day on the report as well. And so is Elfrid Payton. So the Pelicans missing some interesting names on that injury report, man. We'll see how it go. Now, for as the team statistics go, 113 points a game. Atlanta goes, they give up 118. That's why they're where they are. 45% they shoot from the field, 46 rebounds a game, about 26 assists a game, 5 blocks a game, 8 steals a game. They're on a 2-game winning streak, 4 and 6 of the last 10 games. The Pelicans are concerned, averaging 115 a game, giving up 116 a game. Shooting 47% from the field, 47 rebounds a game, 27 assists a game, 5.5 blocks a game, 7 8.5 steals a game, losers of 2 in a row, and a terrible garbage time 2 of 8 out of the last 10 contests. Of course, looking at some of the Hawks' last 5 games, they're coming off 2 very satisfying wins over the Phoenix team, close, and they beat a tough Utah club after being blown out by Houston, losing by 10 to Orlando, and losing by 9 to Boston. Pelicans' last 5 games, pathetic. 1 of 4 of the last 5, losing to Houston in a blowout, 113-90, losing to Orlando, 119-96, getting an overtime win against Dallas, 129-125. And, of course, losing that overtime matchup to Phoenix, which really just pissed me all off. And then, of course, the loss to Portland. The Pelicans sit idly by with that. And, of course, a lot of people predicting the Pelicans to beat Atlanta. Atlanta's playing really well late into the year, building on something. The Pelicans, I don't know, man. I don't know where they heart at. And usually I don't question their heart because they usually give you a good, give you a good opportunity, they give you a good push. But what I seen again at Houston game was like they was just out there playing just to get the game over. They were actually smash faced. I mean, the team was just literally, it was just terrible. You know, they finally they relented. It was like, okay, I give up, uncle. You know how the guy twists your arm and make it say uncle. That's what Houston did to the Pelicans last night. Now let's go into that's the preview. Okay, my predictions, right? Do I really have to predict this? I'm gonna leave it for y'all imagination. Y'all tell me, DJ, Quack, all y'all guys out there, y'all predict this one. Throw it in the comment section because I ain't gonna even touch it. You know, I'm done predicting what the Pelicans gonna do. I'm just gonna break it down. But anyway, let's go into the next topic I wanted to talk about on show is who. I'm gonna give my take on it, or who I think the Pelicans should have in terms of general manager and coach. Now, it's quite simple. If you want a really good general manager, right? You would go and pick from the tree, which are, you know, you pick the fruit from the tree, which is the strong tree that has a strong fruit. That's just giving fruit all the time. And a team that's bearing fruit, that's bearing rewards, or 2 really teams, more than 2, but 2 really polished teams that stick out to me in terms of who you want to pick a general manager from. One is obviously the San Antonio Spurs. That's no big idea. R.C. Buford has been excellent. I mean, the Spurs have been in the playoffs for over 10 years. They've built up they're a small market team that has built themselves into a powerhouse of smart drafting and picking the right players, picking the right coach. That's what can happen for a team. If you're a team like San Antonio or a small market team, look at Utah, how they were able to do it over time. Okay, so my thing is, I love what R.C. Buford's done over the years, but I'm more impressed with Sam Presti. Now, Sam Presti is the general manager of the OKC Thunder. And listen, man, this team, this man has picked some of the best talent in the NBA. Of course, he got Durant fell in his nap. He also picked Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Steven Adams, Serge Ibaka, Reggie Jackson. It goes on. Enes Kanter. It goes on and on and on who this guy picked. And imagine if he was able to just keep all of those players that he drafted on that team. Do you not understand how tough and how hard OKC would be if he was able to keep all that talent there? And the list goes on and on. My thing is, if I'm the Pelicans, I go look at the OKC Thunder and I pick from their tree, you know. And the guy I'm looking at is a guy named Troy Weaver. Now, Troy Weaver is the vice president of basketball operations with the OKC Thunder. Now, he began in his 10th season there, and he's the team's vice president of basketball. He spent the previous 7 seasons serving as Thunder's vice president and assistant general manager. Now, he had held positions as the director of player personnel with the Jazz for a year. He spent 3 seasons as a scout for the Jazz. So, that's 2 really great programs, the Jazz and the Thunder. Look at that man. That's the guy you want, because he's going to bring that winning philosophy that OKC is picking talent to your team. And, of course, who would be the coach? I would even go as far as to saying, man, Ettore Messina, possibly Becky Hammonds, being that you got the first woman owner. How about the first woman coach? Very interesting pairing. But anyway, that'll do it for the show. Thank you guys for joining us for the Pelican Postgame Report, episode 342. As always, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell for most shows. Support our sponsors in the description section below. Thank you for joining us. Peace.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network.
The Kleins family has been getting people to go nuts for old nuts since 1995. As legends have it, a number of the Kleins friends who heard the idea said you can go nuts trying to name a store like that. In the excitement, the Kleins thought their friends said old nuts instead of go nuts and proceeded to throw caution to the wind. Old Nuts has over 2,000 items, bulk and wholesale prices of a whole lot of your favorite fruits, nuts, and confections, a selection of gift baskets for any budget, any occasion, and provides one of the best and impressively rated shopping experiences on the web. Fact is, between their selection, service, speed, or their online presence in a virtual mirror retail experience, they have developed an enviable client base that's comprised of personal and professional customers who count on their remarkable range of gift baskets. Think of gift basket, think about Old Nuts. Check them out, oldnuts.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Tea is your escape. It's your opportunity to create a moment for stillness, for reflection, for yourself. It's your connection to a world of senses, flavors both exotic and familiar, energizing and relaxing. It's your retreat from an increasingly turbulent world. It's the perfect paradox of simplicity and complexity. Teabox.com connects tea to people, uniting the richest flavors of the finest teas with the curious, the cultivated, and the adventurous all over the world. The freshest tea you've ever tasted, from crop to cup. There's simply no simpler way to experience the wonderful complexity of tea. Teabox, packing up the freshness. Tea thrives on freshness, and so do they. Teabox temperature and humidity control facility ensure that tea is maintained. The teas themselves go into oblique bags with aluminum layers that protect them from excess moisture and light. With Teabox, shopping for fresh, loose leaf tea is easy because you make an informed purchase. You know exactly where your tea is coming from. So for the freshest teas in the world, check out Teabox.com. That's right, Teabox.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Go to newfrog.com for all of your electronic gadget needs. Fast becoming #1 online seller of cell phone and accessories, consumer electronics, automobiles and motorcycles, home and garden items, 5D diamond painting crafts, electrical and tool supplies, computer and networking supplies, lights and lighting supplies, sports and travel items, toys and hobby supplies, apparel and accessory, mother and kid items, health and beauty items, and much, much more. Newfrog.com has up to 70% off on some products. And you can check out their weekly promotions for all the best deals. Remember, when thinking online electronics and gadgets, think New Frog. Newfrog.com. Check the link in the description section below.
In today's world, children are bombarded with negativity on television, online, and at school. Our kids need to have a positive outlook on life and the world around them. I want to share with you a valuable resource you can use to bring positivity into your child's life. It's the new book, 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. This is a simple guide loaded with wonderful and inspirational affirmations designed to uplift young people's spirits. This positive and powerful children affirmational is chock full and loaded with wonderful inspirational sayings that will lift your child's self-image to whole new levels through the awesome power of spoken word. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. Available on Amazon. Order a copy for yourself, your child's teachers, or anyone you know with children. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image. Order your copy today.